Hello everybody and welcome back again to my channel and Sewing Made Easy. As I promised you a couple of days ago, after starting to show you how to do a pattern for a jacket for a Sakko, I told you the second video on it will be how to do the color. So this will be the video for today, how to draw the color onto the particular jacket pattern I started for you. But I would also like to say, in case if you do have a pattern already for a jacket, but you do not have a color on it but wish to work one onto it, then you can follow these steps exactly actually as I show you, also for the pattern that you do have already. So, are you ready to do some good work? Then let's get started on it right now. Before I show you the exact steps how to draw the color, I like to talk to you about the round of the neckline first of all, because if you do your own pattern, it of course depends on how round did you draw the neckline. My neckline here on the finished front as an example would be ideal to either make a jacket totally without a color out of, or maybe you like to have a high up standing color directly on the neck. That would be ideal as well. But if you want to make a color in two parts, like shown here on the picture on the right side, it would have to be a little more flat. And therefore, we have to slightly change the curve first of all. As the dividing line, which you see here, is more or less an extension of the lapel line in the front. That means there also has to be the meeting point of all the lines. So to help to find the right point, we can draw a straight line coming out of the corner. As I'm holding the ruler here on at the moment, it's just an extension, so draw it on a little bit more straight on and really think about it. That's approximately where your curve has to come down to. As on the left side you see, it is definitely too high up to draw this color. So look at it again and now draw the extension so it's a straight line coming out of the right corner from your lapel. And there you can see that is exactly in that corner there where your curve has to finish, where you have to draw it out to. That's where you have to end up, and then even it out so you come back down onto your straight line of the front. So the first centimeters there on the right side, they're practically totally straight, and that is that. Here you are pointing it out on both sides where you meet, and that's where your seam will be coming up, which you can see on the right picture right there. So let's get started now for the actual drawing. Take a ruler now and extend your lapel fold over helping line, which goes across over your lapel. You see it there marked with a pencil. Extend it towards the top. Now I hope by doing part one of the jacket you wrote some of your measurements down, and then you will remember that you had from your half neck in the back a measurement of 8.5 centimeters. So take these 8.5 centimeters from the corner of your neck shoulder line and mark this from that corner on upwards, so you can meet the line that you've just drawn upwards from the lapel. Make a mark right there. And now take a right-angled ruler and with a right angle draw a line from that point towards the left. Then take your tape measure, and on that line that you're just drawing there, you first of all mark 2 centimeters from the corner to the left and another 2.5 from that point again to the left. So you have a 2 and a 2.5 mark next to each other right there. If you wish, you can draw yourself a little helping line from that corner shoulder neckline. You don't have to do this, but it's just so you remember that this was your 8.5 centimeter measurement, so you know how you got to that particular corner right there. Now check again how your round of the color is and where your corner exactly, or your round of the color, would meet by extending that line straight across as I mentioned before. Because now you can see that's exactly how my curve is lying in that corner between all those lines. And that's how yours should look as well if you want to draw the color correctly now. Now you have to draw a helping line again from your last marked 2 centimeter point on the top right there onto your extended shoulder line, which you will know which you did in the first video on part 1. Because this line is more or less already the line for your dividing seam of the color. Now check all the rulers you have. If you maybe have for your round the correct round on a ruler, but usually it's almost better to draw it by hand because it has to be slightly curved. As you can see here, I tried to show to you, I'm trying loads of different rulers, but I don't like either of them. They're either too flat or too rounded. So by hand, I just round this up a little bit over the line to the right, which I draw, and it will end exactly in the corner which we discussed earlier on. Now I take the measurement on the top, which was my 2.5 as you remember, and I mark this down on the shoulder from the line I just draw down, 2.5, because in the first part for my seams there, I want this to be more or less exactly the same width of 2.5. Again, I only do a little helping line first, while now I make a slight, very flat, slight curve over the line, over that shoulder part there, because now I have to extend that and combine it with the round that I have in my neck part here. And again, there you see that ruler is really too round. No, I don't like this. I think I should draw this by hand, but you can try it because I don't have the exact size here. I have a schedule by a 1x2. That means the rulers are actually all a little bit too big for all these curves. But if you do your proper size, you will probably be able to draw it with your ruler. But here I just do it by hand, and I work this out, and I make this nice and smooth, and nowhere anything really straight. They all have little curves and rounds on it to make it smooth and nicely. So now you go on that line that you've just done. Go on your last point, which you have on the top, and now mark to the right a new right ankle. As you can see, it's in a different position than the other right ankle that you did before. Extend that one line that's not long enough there because of the new right ankle. Take your tape measure again, and now mark from this line, from the 2 centimeter line actually, from there on, to your right 4 centimeters, because the actual color should be 4 centimeters. That's how I want it. You can make it 5 centimeters or whichever size you want, but I decided I want my lapel down there also 4. I want everything 4, but like I said, you can make it 5, but then you have to extend the front as well. So you could just see that I marked my 4 centimeters there from the edge of the lapel. Again, a right angle. I draw a little line upwards, and again I measure 4 centimeters now up from that point, as I want both of these ankles from the collar to be exactly the same length when I finish the jacket. On those 4 centimeters, I make a little mark to the right by 1 centimeters, and again from that lower point there, I measure 4 centimeters upwards towards the new 1 centimeter mark that I've just done. And I combine them. Now again, take a ruler. It's a lot to do with all the working materials we work with. And from that last point to the top 4 centimeter point, I draw a straight line through. Now I take exactly half of that length and mark it. Put a little mark there. So actually this is your finished color already, as you can see it here now. But no color on the top would be so straight. That's why we have to slightly put like an S curve over it. That means on the lower part it's going a touch inward, but it's really not much. This should only be just a breeze to go underneath, as you can see. Now I turned the ruler around. You saw that. And I do exactly the same kind of curve upwards to the right side. And that gives the color a very good fall, and it's really perfect then when you will do the coat. So when you get to that part, you are practically finished with the 2 color parts, which of course you will have to cut out now, both of these, and draw them new on a new piece of paper to then put all the seams allowance on that you want. But before I do that, I always check all my sides again. I look at everything correctly. I check, do I have a right angle on all this back where there will be a fold usually in the color back. And in case if I see any lines, any curves that I'm not happy with, not satisfied with, I just go over them a little bit and redo them on the corners, on the roundabouts, until I say to myself, that is exactly how I want this particular part to be. All these jobs, if you do want to make a proper and a good job, take a certain amount of time. So don't hesitate in case if it does take you a little bit longer than you in the beginning expected it to be for you. If you go to some tailor's school and learn this properly, it takes you some years to learn this properly. So you must understand, if you haven't done this before, it's not so easy to do it all in one day. So I would like to say goodbye for now, because this is already the end of my part 2 for your particular coat. Next to come on part 3 will be to show you how you can do the construction or the pattern for your jacket, because the sleeve is a very, very important part, as you know, of course. So that will be part 3 for you to come up very soon in the next couple of days. So for now, I say goodbye to you. Until next time, take it easy. Don't do too much. But if you do it with some loving and with some care, and you will find out all the work is so much more fun to do when you have some peace for it, and do it bit by bit and just enjoy life and all the work you're doing, because then it's always fun. Looking forward to get your comments, and don't forget to give me some thumbs up, because I always have this feeling all the English-speaking people, they never give me any thumbs up. I'm so sad. Bye-bye for now. Yours, Lilo. Cheers.